Hello people, this is Code Grind and in today's video we will be creating another navigation bar. This time we'll have a different kind of animation. If you want to view the previous navigation menu that we created, then click on the link above, or you can also go to the description for the link. Now in this navigation bar we have a bars icon over here which I've got from Font Awesome. When I click on it, we get this curvy animation. So it basically starts from the top right corner and it completes our window. So this is the navigation bar which we'll be creating in this video. So let's get straight into it. So here I've got this basic layout ready. I've linked an external CSS file in which we'll be doing all the styling part, and I also got a link for the Font Awesome website from where we'll be using the icon, icon with the three bars for the menu button. Now let's get started with our HTML part. So first we'll have a div with a class of container, and this will be the div inside which we will wrap all our things. Then first we'll have our navbar inside this. So basically what we are going to do is we'll define two navbars for different modes. Like for desktop and tablet modes, we will define a normal navbar that is on the top of the window, which will be for a window of more than 768 pixels in width. But when the window's width will be less than 768 pixels, that is when it will get into the mobile mode, we will remove the navbar from the top of the window and we will have the menu button over here and we will get that animation. So first let's design it for the desktop mode. So in here I'll have an UL, then 4 LIs. So here I am using short syntaxes for writing HTML code. These are known as Emmet abbreviations. If you want to learn about them, you can click on the link above or go in the description box for the link. I have a crash course on Emmet abbreviations. Watch it and you will learn all about them. So first our LI, let's have home, profile, then newsfeed, and at last settings. So this is it for the links. Then we'll have a div with a class of menu button. In here we'll have an icon from Font Awesome, the bars icon. Yeah, so this is the bars icon and this is our UL. Then after this navbar we'll have our content, just a brief description of what we are creating. Let's also have a heading inside here P, so navigation bar using CSS3 and JavaScript. Let's hit save. So we have got our HTML part over here. Now let's get into styling. So let's start the styling part by nullifying the browser's default settings, giving it a margin 0, padding 0, box sizing of border box, and a font family of pop-ins. If you want to use the same font for your web pages, then I'll give a link in the description from where you can download this font and install it in your systems. Now let's design our content. So we'll give it a text align of center, a font size of 2M because it's a heading, it should look big, and a margin top of 6M. So this is our content over here. Now we'll design our navbar unordered list. First of all, let's change its background color. So the background color which I have selected is hash 2E2E2E, which is a very dark gray. We'll give a color of white. So this is our navbar, which it is actually in the desktop mode right now. Now we'll have our padding 20 pixels, then a list style type of none because we don't want these bullets. So now we have all of these in columns, we want them in rows. So for that, display of flex, justify content of space around, and at last text align of center. So this is it for designing the navbar. Now by default this menu bars icon shouldn't be visible, so we'll select it and give it a display of none. Yeah, so this is it for designing the desktop mode. Now let's get into designing it for responsive, that is for mobile modes, which will be less than 768 pixels in width. So for responsive designing, what we need is the media queries, media only screen, and the width which we have selected is 768 pixels. So what this will do is the properties which we write inside this media query will only work when the width of the window is less than or equal to 768 pixels. Any width more than this, then the properties won't be applied. So the first thing which we want to do is menu button I, and we want to give it a display of inline. Let's hit save. So now we have got this menu button over here when the width is less than 768 pixels. And now let's design this menu button. So we'll give it a top of 1 em, right of 1 em, so that it is on the top right corner. And then padding, actually let's give it a border for now, 1 pixels solid white. And now padding of 20 pixels. Actually these top and right properties haven't applied yet because we need to give it a position absolute first, which I forgot to give. Yeah, so now this is in the top right corner. We also need to give it a color of white. Actually not the color of white because this navbar won't be visible, so this black color is fine for now. We need to give the border radius of 50%. This makes it round. Now what we want is, for now let's just hide this navbar because we need to design the menu button. We will remove this property afterwards. The b should be small. Yeah, so this is it. Let's change the border to black. So this is our navbar button over here. Let's increase this font size to 1.5 em. Now we'll be giving it a neumorphism effect. So if you want to know what is neumorphism and how you can give the effect of neumorphism to any object of a web page, then you can go to my playlist of neumorphism where I have taught what it is and how you can use it. I will give a link in the description, and you can also click on the link above. Now the color which we are using is the white background color. So there is actually a website, neumorphism.io. So this is the website. In here you can select any color. So we are working with white color, so I'll have FFFFF. So the color is selected. Now I will change the size, and based on the size and different properties over here, it will generate a code like this one over here, and you can just copy this code and paste it in your CSS, and this will apply the neumorphism effect. Now there are 4 different kind of properties over here. The first one is flat, that means the button will look flat. This one is concave, that means the button will look slightly curved, slightly curved towards the inside. And this is a convex design, which will make the button look like it's bulging. And this is pressed effect, which will make the button look like it's pressed. So let's increase the intensity. We will be selecting the convex one, or let's say I used the convex one in the previous navigation menu one. So let's use the concave here. Increase the intensity and blur a bit. So you can change these values, and the code will be generated accordingly. So let's copy this code now and paste it in here. Now when I go here, hit save, and we have got this neumorphism effect. Now we need to remove this border because borders don't work well with neumorphism. So this is our button over here. Now when I hover over it, we get this arrow cursor. We need to change it to cursor pointer. Yeah, so now this looks clickable. Now let's remove this display none. So now what we want is, we need to give it a curvy effect to this navbar UL. So what this basically means is, when we click on the button, the navbar should seem like it's appearing from the top right corner and covering the whole window. So let's first design it accordingly. We'll select the UL and then give it a flex direction of column. So now this is arranged column wise, and let's give it a min height of 100 VH so that it acquires the whole window like this. And now the property which we'll be using is we'll be giving it the clip path of circle. So this will trim the UL in circular shape. So here we can put the size of the circle. Let's select 200 pixels and then add, and you can now specify the position from left and the right sides of the window. So let's say from the right we want from the left we want 50% and from the top 50%. So now what this will do is this will trim our UL into a circle of 200 pixels in size at exactly at the center of our window. Now when I hit save, we have got this circle over here. So this is the use of the clip path property. Now if you're working with different browsers, you got to have different properties as well, because sometimes same CSS properties don't work with all the browsers. So make sure if you're working with Apple, that means Safari, you got to have WebKit clip path, and the value will be exactly same, 200 pixels at 50%, 50%. Now we want this to the top right position, so we will give it a left of 100%. Oh, we need to give it over here as well, left of 100%, and let's give it a top of minus 10%. So now it is over here, and change its size to 0 pixel. So now this is not visible and it is in the top right corner. Now what we need to do is whenever we click on it, it should change the clip path should be changed to something which will cover the entire window. So in here in the JavaScript part, what we can do is inside the script tag, first we will select our menu button by the document.query selector, and on the clicking event of this menu button we will run a function. So here we need to select the I tag actually. We also need to select our UL, the navbar. So we will call it list document.query selector dot navbar UL. Now in here what we'll do is when the menu button is clicked on, we will toggle a class list.classlist.toggle. We'll toggle a class of show. Now what this toggle class does is when I go here in the inspect element, so you can see inside the elements here is our unordered list. When I click on menu button now, this class of show gets added, and when I click on it again, it gets removed. So this toggle, basically the functionality of it is if a class show is present in the list, then it will remove it, and if the class is not present, then it will add the class. Now we will define the properties, different CSS properties for this class show. Navbar UL, when it has a class of show, we will just change this clip path now. Now let's test what clip path will look good. Let's say if we have 1500 pixels, 1500 pixels, let's hit save. So this actually acquires our whole window. So 1500 pixels will be good. So we will change it to 1500 pixels when the class show is added to our UL. Let's hit save, and now when I click on this menu button, this transition takes place and the navbar is now visible. We need to give it a transition, so the transition will make all of this very smooth. A transition of let's say 0.7 seconds, all please. So this should be transition. By mistake I put it as transition delay. Yeah, now you can see this, all of this is working very fine, but there is still one flaw in this animation. The box shadow now on this dark gray background of the menu button doesn't look good at all. So what we can have is we can have a different set of box shadows and background of linear gradient for this different background. Let's go back to the website and select the color, the dark gray color, which is this hash 2e2e2e. paste it over here, and now we have different set of properties. We will copy it, and in here we will go for menu button I.show and paste these properties. And also over here we need to toggle a class of show to the menu button class list dot toggle show. Let's hit save, and we also need to provide it with a transition, so a transition of 0.7 seconds all ease. Let's hit save. Yeah, so the box shadow is also changing. We need to change the color as well, the color of white. So now this is color white, box shadow is changed. When I click on it again, it goes back to the original form. So this is how you can create an animated nav bar with a clip path animation. And if you want to create another kind of navigation bar, then I will provide a link of my previous video. Now if you like the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more such amazing tutorials on CSS and JavaScript. And thank you for watching.